Jeff Probst just dropped the Survivor 50 cast list and whoa, I'm equal parts hyped and baffled. First reaction, the roster is confusing at best, as the 50% BIPOC benchmark is now gone, and the silence is loud. So let's crack the code together. I'm grouping these 24 returnees by the seasons they've already shared, pulling out the bonds you've missed, flagging every sneaky rivalry, and because picks make it fun, stick around as I'll be throwing in my winner picks along the way. Leave a comment down below who you are most excited to watch play Survivor again, starting with...
From our very first season, 25 years ago, one of the original castaways, Jenna.
Number 14, Survivor All-Stars. Two faces greet us from Season 8's reunion. Jenna Lewis, who is now 47 years old, the Borneo alum, returned to Survivor All-Stars with a mission to dethrone every past champion, and nearly pulled it off, gliding to third without an immunity win. That slippery style is why she's my first winner pick. Besides her stands Colby Donaldson, now an old man at 51, Australia's golden boy, once dominated challenges, but famously gifted the victory to Tina Wesson. He hasn't been back since Heroes vs. Villains in 2010, a 15-year gap between seasons.
I'm almost a decade older than I was the first time. So to me, it's a test to see if I still got it.
Before we sprint through the rest, here's the era math making fans cry foul. Of seasons 1 to 10, we get only 3 reps. Seasons 11 to 20 add 3 more. The entire middle decade 21 to 30 is completely ghosted. Jump to seasons 31 to 40 and 6 alum resurface, but then the floodgates open with 12 castaways from the so-called new era, seasons 41 to 49. Remember when production insiders swore the cap for new era players was going to be 3? That rumor aged like coconut milk. Bottom line, Survivor 50 is leaning hard into recent storylines, while giving classic heroes a nostalgic cameo. Right now, the math says it's all in on the new era.
We wanted to taste every flavor, every type of personality, all the eras. And so we went from 200.
Number 13, Survivor Micronesia. Sliding to fans versus favorites, we reunite two titans. Cirie Fields, now 54 years old. We will be talking about a lot through this video, as she was the woman that got off the couch to play Survivor. She returns as the game's oldest woman, tied with someone that we'll be talking about later. Opposite her is Aussie Lou, now 43, the spearfishing demigod who later volunteered to be voted out just to duel back from redemption. But the next season we're talking about brings Cirie back again into the mix with number 12, Survivor Heroes vs. Villains. That legendary 2010 season gives us 4 warriors a comeback. Colby returns, hoping Cowboy Charm finally meets modern gameplay. Stephanie LaGrossa, now 45 years old, was once the last Oolong standing, is back after a shoulder-shattering Heroes vs. Villains. Jeff Probst teases fourth wall nods to past relationships, but don't expect him to acknowledge Stephanie sharing reality TV ties with Cirie, who won season 1 of The Traitors. Jeff Probst hates that crossover. Cirie re-enters this chapter armed with lessons from 3 near misses, while Coach at 53 years old meditates on if honesty lost him the million.
We'll maybe be breaking that fourth wall when players start talking about being friends and whether or not that is an asset, as you said, or a liability, and how people view you.
Quick pause, Johnny Fairplay didn't crack that lineup after he was cut from Survivor Heroes vs. Villains, but the King of Chaos still wants your attention. Smash the subscribe button, ring the bell, improve Outcast, outshout the casting agents, and help us hit 20,000 subscribers.
It's Johnny Fairplay, reality TV icon, Survivor Hall of Famer, and Star V's #1 fall hit, House of Villains Season 1. And I was checking out RussellMuscleTV. Holy moly, these guys grind out the coolest new Survivor content each and every week. It is the best Russell pocket. Does Russell Hantz even watch Survivor anymore? Check out RussellMuscleTV. Click that subscribe button.
Number 11, Survivor South Pacific. South Pacific stitched together Survivor's strangest captain season. Coach returned as a church leader, steering a majority alliance, yet losing 6-3 when jurors ripped off his mask of humility. Aussie surfed into challenges like Poseidon, was blindsided, dueled his way back, and still fell at the final 4. 10 years on, Coach is not a fan of Aussie and how he plays the game, but we somehow will be talking about Aussie again again with number 10 Survivor Game Changers. Game Changers, which was the weirdest cast of returning players until season 50, Cirie appears yet again, hunting the elusive title of sole survivor while being screwed over by Advantage Geddon. Ozzy tagged along for his 4th appearance, not offering much more to the TV screen. Completing the circle is Aubrey, who is now 39 years old. She was a fan favorite in Survivor Co-Wrong, made it far in Game Changers, only to be screwed over by newbies in a later season.
I think it's good to say you can put the past aside, but I knew it was a problem when I saw Ozzy on the same tribe as me. What the hell?
Number 9 Survivor Heroes vs. Healers vs. Hustlers. Season 35's Lone Ranger is Chrissy Hoffbeck. At 54 years old, she's tied with Cirie for the oldest female on the season. She's also tied the women's immunity winning record, but then a surprise fire-making twist torched her game. This is someone the fans have been begging to see return for a long time. However, fans are more excited about number 8 Survivor David vs. Goliath. 3 storytellers are back to Fiji from this season, starting with Mike White. A 54-year-old is the oldest man on the season, finished runner-up, but more importantly is the man behind the hit show The White Lotus. Angelina Keeley, now 35, traded a jacket request for meme immortality and negotiated a full bag of rice. She's back to prove she can negotiate jury votes as well. Christian Hibiki, now being 39 years old, captivated viewers with strategic moves and confessional gold. If Christian, Angelina, and Mike White wanted to come back for Survivor 50, you always say yes.
Mike, after he finished playing, said, "I want to play again."
Number 7 Survivor Edge of Extinction. Fans typically are not a fan of this season, but personally I loved it. Aubrey returned with nothing to show for it. And we have Rick Devens, who is now 41 years old. The nightly newsman who juggled idols like torches is eager to repeat his tribal council stand-up routine. If season 50 has advantages raining from the sky, Devens will snag them faster than Probes can yell, "Drop your buffs," leaving the rest of the cast squirming on what to do next.
I got a lot of belief in myself. I want to come into the game like the Kool-Aid man. I want to break through the wall. Oh yeah!
Number 6 Survivor 42. Only one torch from season 41, season 42, season 43, and season 44. Jonathan Young stands alone at 32 years old. This human canoe, who literally towed teammates through Pacific surf, is going to be showing off his physical dominance again in the challenges, before most likely being voted off at the merge. But I'm just left scratching my head where the representation is from Survivor 41, 42, 43, and 44. Like, where is Caroline, Ricard, Shan, Omar, Marianne? The voices CBS promised to amplify. If these snubs sting you as well, hit that like button. If we hit 300 likes on this video, I'll make a video on the players that should be on Survivor 50. Number 5 Survivor 45. From Survivor 45, 2 faces make a return. Emily Flippin, 30 years old, opened by roasting Bruce until she was clipped later on in the game. Winner D. Valoradres, 28 years old, never let a weird looking toe slow her down. She crushed the final tribal council and played one of the most dominating games in Survivor history. This is a really old cast, as D is the youngest female playing the game at 28 years old, which could turn into a big mistake.
Q-skirt is essentially a hoodie flipped backwards like a pouch of a kangaroo with 2 pockets. It's gonna be the next big thing.
Number 4 Survivor 46. Season 46 dishes pure chaos. Q Burdett, at 31 years old, begged for his own torch to get snuffed mid-tribal. It didn't matter what the theme was for Survivor 50, as Q was going to be a lock. But we also have Charlie Davies at 27, the Taylor Swift superfan. Was honestly fun to watch, but I'm not sure if he's Survivor 50 material. Actually, that's a common theme with Tiffany Nicole Irvin as well. At 34 years old, she's only described as being someone that worked with Q. Why is she here?
And from 46, at times she played with Q, and at times she wanted to pull her hair out because of Q. Tiffany.
Number 3 Survivor 47. Genevieve Mulashkis, at 33 years old, being part of Operation Italy and making fake idols along the way, makes me so excited to see her return. Canadian castaways always make for great TV, and I think she has what it takes to be my second winner pick of this video. When you think returning player seasons, it's going to most likely be a woman.
The winner of Survivor Heroes vs. Villains, Sandra
Number 2, Survivor 48. I'm not gonna lie, not being the biggest fan of Survivor 48, I wish it had less representation. We have Joe playing the honorable game at 45 years old, Kyle being a dominant winner at 31, and working closely with his number 1 duo Camilla also here at 31. But it gets even worse with number 1 Survivor 49. We have Rizzo Velofic going by the name the Riz God at 25 years old, is the youngest male in the season, and Savannah Louis, who is 31 years old. We literally have nothing to go off of for these players. Anyway, if you want more Survivor content, click here for the Survivor Season 49 cast assessment, or click here for another spicy Survivor 50 video.